The big head full of wisdom and healing is not just ordinary big head but God gifts. Wise elder with an unusually large head sits in her humble hut, offering guidance and healing to those in need. Her head, a divine gift of wisdom, symbolizes the immense knowledge and compassion she holds for her people. Villagers come to her with their problems, broken marriages, life struggles, and illnesses, and leave with hope, solutions, and healing. Despite her wisdom, many mocked her appearance, unaware of the treasure they were scorning. But when they realized her true value, the whole village came together to celebrate her greatness. There lived a remarkable woman named Anu. Her most striking feature was her enormous head, which seemed too large for her slender frame. Yet, within that extraordinary head was an equally extraordinary mind, one filled with unmatched wisdom and compassion. Anu was known throughout the region as the keeper of peace, a healer of hearts, and the one who could untangle even the most complicated relationships. But Anu's talents didn't end there. She also possessed a deep knowledge of herbal medicine, capable of curing nearly any sickness within just 2 weeks. For years, couples from all walks of life came to Anu's humble hut to seek her guidance. Married couples on the brink of separation, lovers struggling to understand each other, and even young men and women unsure of their feelings found solace in her advice. Her words carried a soothing power, like the gentle flow of a river, and she never failed to bring clarity and peace. If a man's temper threatened to break his home, or if a woman's fears clouded her judgment, Anu would listen patiently, offering insights that seemed to come from a place far beyond human understanding. And if any of them fell ill, Anu would retreat to the rows of clay pots and jars lining her hut, filled with roots, leaves, and powders collected from the surrounding forest. She would prepare a remedy, handing it to the grateful villager with a soft smile. Within 2 weeks, they would return healthy and full of gratitude, singing her praises to anyone who would listen. It was said that anything Anu advised or prescribed would come to pass. If she told a wife to brew a tea of certain herbs to calm her nerves or advised a husband to take a poultice to regain his strength, the results would be almost miraculous. Women who had struggled with childbearing found hope in her potions, and men weakened by long illnesses found their strength restored. No sickness seemed too great for Anu to tackle, and her reputation as a healer and mediator spread far and wide. However, despite her remarkable gifts, Anu herself was unmarried. No man in the village or the surrounding areas had ever sought her hand. The villagers whispered about her in hushed tones, calling her the woman with the big head. They laughed at her appearance, unable to see beyond her physical form to the treasure of wisdom within. Many thought her oversized head was a curse rather than the divine gift it truly was. But Anu never let their mockery deter her from her mission. She continued to help people selflessly, believing that her purpose in life was far greater than seeking the validation of those who could not understand her worth. Deep in her heart, though, there were moments of loneliness. Late at night, after the last visitor had left her hut, Anu would sit in silence, wondering if there was a place for love in her life. One fateful day, a young woman named Ifeoma arrived at Anu's hut, her face streaked with tears. She was a newlywed, and her marriage was already crumbling. Her husband, Chidi, was hot-tempered and impatient, while Ifeoma herself struggled with insecurities that made communication between them almost impossible. Ifeoma sobbed, "I don't know what to do. I love Chidi, but we can't seem to stop hurting each other." Anu placed her gentle hands on Ifeoma's trembling shoulders. "Love is not about avoiding storms," she said, "it is about learning to dance in the rain." She advised Ifeoma to approach Chidi with kindness, even when he was angry, and to speak her mind without fear but with grace. She also encouraged Chidi to find patience and to see Ifeoma not as a challenge, but as a partner. When Ifeoma and Chidi followed her advice, their marriage transformed. Chidi's temper softened, and Ifeoma grew more confident. Soon, their love blossomed into something beautiful. They returned to Anu, holding hands and thanking her for saving their union. Ifeoma also thanked Anu for the herbal tonic she had given her earlier, which had cured her of an ailment that had plagued her for months. News of Anu's wisdom and healing abilities spread even farther. More couples came, bringing their struggles and illnesses, and leaving with peace and health. Anu's hut became a sanctuary for those seeking love and understanding, as well as those in need of a cure. Yet, even as her reputation grew, the men of the village still ignored her as a potential wife. To them, her big head was too strange, too abnormal. They couldn't see past their shallow judgments. One evening, a group of elders began to discuss Anu. One of them, a man named Obiora, said, "Why do none of us see Anu for what she truly is? She has saved so many of our marriages, healed our bodies, and yet we mock her. Perhaps we are the ones cursed with blindness to the gifts before us." Word spread, and the men of the village began to realize what they had been missing. One by one, suitors came to Anu, asking for her hand in marriage. Some came with gifts, others with promises of love and devotion. But to their surprise, Anu refused them all. "I will not marry someone who sees my worth only now that it benefits them," Anu said firmly. "For years, you laughed at me, and now you want to share in what you once scorned? I am content with who I am and the purpose I serve." Her refusal struck a chord in the hearts of many. The men realized how superficial their judgments had been, and the women of the village began to admire Anu even more for her strength and self-respect. As time passed, Anu's role in the village only grew. She became a symbol of resilience, self-worth, and the beauty of inner strength. Her story taught everyone an important lesson, that true value is not in appearances but in the depth of one's character and the impact they have on others. And so, Anu continued to dedicate her life to helping others, her big head held high with pride. Though she remained unmarried, she was surrounded by love, the love of a grateful community that had finally come to understand the greatness of the woman with the big head. Follow me,